Greetings from a very remote and traditional village in Cyprus. I'll insert some photos towards the end of the video. Today I'm talking about emotions and how our emotions can either hinder or assist us on our upgrade journey. I use the word upgrade in my work, but you may be familiar with the term awakening or ascension or personal development or self-improvement. The labels that we use are quite irrelevant. What is paramount to pay attention to, though, is the idea that as human beings, we are evolving. We are on an upward journey, which means that at some point in the day, the week, the month, or the year, we're going to be in a more improved state than we were in the past. And that is by our very human nature, how our lives tend to evolve. If you add to that laser focus and a conscious effort to create improvement or to attract or to bring about a more heightened state of living, then your journey will become accelerated, which then means you're moving at a faster pace, you're moving at a more deliberate pace, which then brings about more opportunity for shedding those unnecessary hindering layers that we tend to accumulate throughout our early lives. As well as an upgrade journey or an upward journey, we're also on a backward journey. We're on an upgrade journey to bring about more joy, more of what we want in life, whatever that may be for you. And very often that requires us to become more of who we were when we came here on this planet, or more of who we came here to be in terms of our life purpose, in terms of the gifts, talents and abilities that we may actually be harboring but not quite utilizing. So in very simple terms, we are here to experience the heightened version of our life. That doesn't mean it's broken right now. It doesn't mean there's anything drastically wrong. What it does mean, and this is a saying that I use a lot, that there's always, always, always room for more. Where do emotions come into all of this? So I'll explain as simply as I can. As we move forward, as we continue to upgrade, as we continue to improve, we are going to be coming into situations, coming across people, circumstances, events that will not always make sense, that were perhaps not part of the plan, the logical mind plan that we had mapped out or created at some point. Yet, inside of those circumstances, events, relationships, jobs, business opportunities, travel opportunities even, therein lies a very specific set of opportunities for you, for us, to upgrade to the next level and shed yet more and more layers, whether they be fears, emotions, behavioral patterns, blocks, wounds. They bring an opportunity for healing. They bring about an opportunity for you to rewire the way that you had been showing up in similar scenarios. So perhaps you find yourself in a situation that feels like you've been there before, maybe with a different set of people, a different group of people, or a different country, or a different company perhaps. Yet the experiences, the feelings, the emotions that you're having are very much the same, which is likely to bring about a lot of discomfort. Now, none of us like to be uncomfortable. None of us like to be swamped in the confusion of mixed emotions or misunderstood emotions. So This is why I'm bringing you today's video. I want to explain to you, teach you, and show you how to manage, understand, and then release certain emotional patterns that perhaps have been troubling you for a while, or perhaps you are completely in the dark as to why it's happening, why you're feeling this way. It's important to highlight and remember that as we progress and upgrade and ascend and awaken, that as difficult moments arise, that they are happening for us, not to us, that they are bringing about an opportunity for us to become a better version of ourselves. So therefore, it's really important for us to approach these opportunities with openness, with courage, and with a willingness to do the work. And when I say do the work, I mean delve deep, sit in the emotion, whatever it may be, rather than push it away. Allow it and take ourselves through a process, no matter how many times we have to go through that process for each individual emotion or block or barrier or behavioral pattern, limiting belief process, however many times we need to do it, to be willing to show up each and every time with the same willingness, knowing very surely that each time we do go through that process, that we're becoming more of who we came here to be: joyful, abundant, loving, fearless, courageous, whatever that may mean for you, and also more in alignment with our authentic current self. Because an emotion is an indication that something isn't flowing. An emotion is an indication that there's something happening either inside of us or outside of us that we need to pay attention to. Now, if you have been following my upgrade formula, then this next sharing that I'm going to bring to you will work perfectly for you. If you have not, or if you're not aware of my upgrade formula, I'm going to skim over it real quick right now. If you want to go more in depth, send me a message. You can go to Facebook, or you can send me an email via my website, upgradewithmariak.com, or a direct email, maria@upgradewithmariak.com, and I'll share it with you. But just to give you a brief overview, heart plus mind plus universe equals upgrade. So the key point that I need to make now really is that if you've been following your heart, and if you've been maintaining yourself in a connected state more often than you haven't, then it's likely that you are on an authentic, purposeful path. Which means that where you find yourself right now, despite that it may feel highly uncomfortable, you may be rubbing up against people or circumstances or employers or family members, that's irrelevant. It's important to know that where you find yourself right now is key for your next upgrade. So here are just a few tips on how you can manage your heightened emotions through this period of unrest. Number one is to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment, without the need to race ahead to the next assignment, the next activity, without the need to run away. So allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. And number two is to not judge. As you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, notice where you're feeling it inside your body. Our emotions tend to accumulate inside of our physical body, and often they will bring about ailments, tension, pain. It's really useful for you to tap into that and become familiar. So feel the feeling in its entirety, label the emotion, but label it with care. Rather than say, I am angry or I am fearful, it's really useful to use the term I feel. I feel brings about a transient air. It brings about the truth, which is emotions are fluid, they're flowing, they're not sort of stuck. They only get stuck if we allow them to be. So I feel angry means that very quickly we can allow that feeling of anger to move through us once we've acknowledged it and felt it in its fullest and in its entirety without judgment. And then what I really recommend is that you go on a very deep journey of exploration, asking as many questions in detail as you can. What was the trigger? Who triggered it? What did somebody say that triggered me? What did somebody do or not do? What place did I come to? What song did I hear? Whether that's an external or an internal trigger. And then why? Why? What is it that's unresolved? What is it that happened to me 10 years ago that has been triggered today? And then how? How can I feel better? How can I release, forgive, heal? And those options are very, very wide and varied. So we won't go into all of those today. But I encourage you to sit or be in a state of exploration and openness and willingness. And once you've done all of that, you can then allow that emotion to leave your body, leave your mind, your body and your soul. And what you are then left with is really powerful clarity and powerful, almost like an empowerment, because you've allowed the emotion to move through you. It's gone, it's released, it's no longer with you, but you're left with this really powerful set of pieces of information that you can then approach the subject or the situation that you're in, or the person or the relationship that you're in, you're finding yourself has triggered you, and you can approach it with your head held high, with an open mind, an open heart, and without that kind of craziness that heightened emotions can bring about for us. And then armed with all of that powerful information that you just gathered and accumulated from your explorative journey inside your emotional state, you'd then be able to fast track the upgrade that is currently on the horizon for you, that having not dealt with the emotional side of it correctly would have potentially hindered you. So when I said at the beginning of the video, are your emotions hindering or assisting you in your upgrade? If they're properly dealt with and they're properly paid attention to and they're properly felt and respected and paid attention to, then your upgrades will begin to happen a lot quicker and a lot more productively, thus allowing you to enjoy the ride even more, into less and less drama, less and less conflict with circumstances, events and people around you. And once you remove drama and conflict and blame and resentment, you can then rise up even more, both in your own space and in the world around you. What you came here to do, achieve, experience, share. It really can be an amazing journey. So enjoy delving into your emotions, enjoy them. I had an experience a few days ago where I was absolutely gripped in the throes of something that had been stirred up for me from a long time ago. And I was in a situation where it was stirred up and I knew it was being triggered. It was a past experience being triggered and I knew it was unresolved. And it's difficult to explain and describe, but I felt the whole of my body was almost in this wave of emotion. It was kind of like the waves of the ocean, right? And very quickly I took myself through the step-by-step process I've shared with you. And very quickly I was back and I was on the ball again. And I was able to move through and move on and move up and put a smile back on my face. So I'm hoping all of that will help you. If you need any further assistance, you know where to reach me. I've already shared my contact details, or you can even comment on this video below. Many ways that you can reach me. Until next time, I'm wishing you the courage to delve and face and move through and show up for yourself and your upgrade journey. Mwah.